Hello everyone, my name is Loy. I'm a CEO and co-founder of Kyber Network. So just a quick show of hands. How many of you here know the meaning of Kyber? Okay, not so many people. So to the people who raise a hand, may the force be with you. And to those who don't know, Kyber is a special crystal in Star Wars that power the lightsaber. So why we name our project as Kyber Network? Because our goal is to to help and power other projects in the ecosystem as well. And how we do it, I will explain in my talk. Right. So we all know that in our cryptocurrency ecosystem, these centralized exchanges already become the holy grail, because the billions of US dollars, are stored and kept there, and they get hacked every day. Mt. Gox was the first significant example, and throughout the years we have seen more and more. Just a couple of months back, we have CoinCheck from Japan. They broke all the record with 530 million, US dollar got stolen. So this is sort of like against the nature of cryptocurrency, because we have been trying to advocate the decentralized and trustless nature. And at the end of the day, we still trust a few people in these centralized exchanges to keep and secure our asset. So this is why during the last couple of years we have been seeing a lot of decentralized exchanges. To name a few, we have EtherDelta, 0x, Omise, AirSwap, Kyber, and IDEX. I'm not going into the details of each of these projects, but I'm just draw a simple table here to compare the approaches being used by each of them. So if you look at IDEX, so it's interesting because they claim to be a decentralized exchange, but they have a centralized custodian. That means users need to deposit their fund to IDEX, and all the order matching and intermediate settlement are done by IDEX themselves. So what it means is that that IDEX is not much different from a centralized exchange, but to the users, they still consider IDEX as a decentralized exchange. On the other hand, we have a few other approaches like EtherDelta, AirSwap, and 0x. What they use is a sort of like hybrid model in which they have the order matching is done within their website or server, and the settlement is done on the smart contract or on chain, and they don't have any custodian. We have another candidate, which is Omise Go. So they have their own sort of plasma or sidechain network, and all the trading and activities happen in this plasma network. And the sort of like advantage of this approach is that they can support a lot more transactions, with the cost of a different security model. With Kyber Network, we take a different approach. We do everything on chain. We do, from the order matching to the settlement and everything on chain. We don't have any, custodian. So we try to be as, decentralized and as trustless as possible. So how do we do it? The first thing we decided to do is, we do everything on chain because of several reasons. So first of all, when we have everything on chain, it's easy for everyone to verify. So people don't have to trust any, off-chain party. And the second reason why is that why we do it on-chain is because we want to be really easy for other projects to integrate with Kyber. The moment you introduce some off-chain server or off-chain website, then it's impossible or almost impossible for other on-chain entities like smart contract or other dApp to integrate with you. So we really want to improve the compatibility with other projects as well. And in Kyber Network, we don't have the order book because we realize that if we want to do things on chain and we still want to keep the order book, then it's going to be impossible because it's very expensive to maintain the order book on chain. So what we do is we introduce a concept of reserve. Which are like the banks in real life, and these reserves, they have a lot of coins and tokens. that are, waiting, for the users to come and to trade with the users. We bring all of them on-chain, and technically the users do trade with these reserve or, the liquidity providers in our platform. So the user will see the sell and the buy price of the token. And, if they are happy with the price, they just send the transaction to trade with the reserve. And we will, bring a lot of reserve or, many more reserve on our platform so that the price will be competitive and, we can guarantee better liquidity. So what we do is, we create the incentive for the reserve to, join our platform. So first of all, the reserve, they will get the profit from the trading spread. And we can also prepare, all the tools and software for the reserve to, easily join our platform. So from the previous example, you can see that there's a 2 KNC profit, between the sell and the buy price for the reserve here. And this is the sort of like profit that the reserve would take home. Another another component in Kyber network is that we integrate with a lot more websites and wallets so that they can drive the traffic to Kyber network. So in the last few months, we successfully secure a few important partnerships. So we already work with MyEther wallet, IAM token, Cypher browser, Toshi, and Trust wallet. So with these wallets, we can have the indirect access to all of their users. And the reason why I'm wearing IAM token T-shirt today is not only because they are our partner, but also because I met Ben, the CEO of IAM token, last year at AdCon. So thank you, AdCon, for connecting us. Okay, so this is the I will explain the architecture of Kyber network by walking you through a simple transaction. So we have the main Kyber network contract, and we have all the reserve over there that have a lot of coins and tokens. Now, when the user want to trade, they just send a transaction with the token A. The token will go, Kyber will forward the token to the reserve, get back the corresponding amount of token B, and forward it back to the user. And everything happens within one single transaction, which is very convenient for the users. The reserve will be managed by the reserve manager, who is responsible to feed the price to our contract and do all the rebalancing at the reserve. We have the Kyber operator to add and remove reserve, add and remove tokens as well. Our platform is live. You can go to kyber.network and see how easy it is to trade with Kyber. You can also use MyEther wallet and a few other wallets to trade with us. So now we are live. What is next for us? So our vision is not only running a decentralized exchange, but we want to offer a lot more products to our users. So one of the use cases that we want to explore is the payment use case. So for example, if you are a merchant here and you want to accept, for example, only Ether, and the user have only Omisego token. So what can the user do? The user can just send the token to Kyber, and we can do the conversion instantly in the background and forward the Ether, the payment in Ether to the merchants. And the payments happens not only between the user and merchants, but also between all the dApps and the smart contract. So this is the sort of like all the blockchain project in our ecosystem, and many of them require their own native token to be used for the payment in their platform. So what we can do is if the user they have to use some app, they have to purchase the token beforehand, right? And what happens if this app also calls some other app? And now the user may have to purchase some other token as well. This is very troublesome for the user. So what we can do is, the user they can just send Ether to the main app, and this app will just purchase the token on the fly with Kyber. So the user they don't have to buy a lot of tokens beforehand. Instead, they can just stick with their Ether or their favorite token, and buy the rest on the fly with Kyber. And note that everything happens in one single transaction here with Kyber network. So we already partnered with a few other important projects in the space. They have millions of users. And with all this partnership, we expect to see a lot more of users and activities in our platform. Another product that we recently introduced is the idea of, now many people are doing token sale, right? And it's very troublesome for not only the users, but also the project, because the project, the user, they have to follow every single project. And for each of them, they have different mechanism, different website, and they have to do KYC everywhere. And for the project, they have to do many one-off activities, like they have to create the token sale smart contract. They have to do KYC everyone, and they can only accept Ether because it's very hard for them to accept other tokens. So what we can offer to both the users and the project is an ILO platform, or initial exchange offering with Kyber. Because I'm running out of time, so the main advantage for the users and the project is that for the users, they can get access to everything in one single platform. They don't have to do KYC everywhere, and because they only interact with the smart contract, so they don't have to keep their fund in some centralized platform. And for the project, they don't have to worry about creating token sale smart contract, doing KYC, and they can just focus on product development. Another interesting feature is that they can allow their users to contribute from whatever token that the user have, and the conversion is done and powered by Kyber in the background, so which is extremely convenient for the users and for the project. So this example, I hope this example already convinced you that Kyber network is not only a decentralized exchange, but we are more a decentralized liquidity network, which sits. Hello. Hey. Yeah. So we are a liquidity network that sits entirely on-chain, and we can work with for payments, for on-chain settlement. So all the portfolio management platform, or on-chain decentralized funds, or Olympus Labs, all these platforms, they can use Kyber. They can benefit from the on-chain liquidity pool that we have. So if you have some project that needs access to some on-chain liquidity pool, please talk to us. We are happy to work together. Thanks a lot for listening.